now, The Business Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. This is where we address the business topics that matter. Here's your host, Sabrina Turner.
Good morning, Cayman, and welcome to Radio Cayman's Business Buzz. I'm your host, Sabrina Turner, and the Business Buzz is proudly sponsored by GreenTurtle.ky, Cayman Insurance Center, and Cayman Medical Supplies. Brought to you every Tuesday and Thursday from 7:30 a.m. until 9. Our first guest this morning, we're pleased to put the spotlight and hear more about the Rotary Club Central, Cayman Islands. We will put the focus and hope to give you some background information to understand more about the Rotary's bus shelters, the benefits, what it can do for your small businesses and business as a whole, the importance of brand awareness, and also we'll talk about placement opportunities and how you can become a member and any other upcoming projects. I'm pleased to welcome in studio with me Director and past President of Rotary Central, Mr. Naudi Dreyer, and Rotarian Mr. Carl Brown. No stranger to the airwaves at all. Gentlemen, good morning and welcome to our show.
Good morning, Sabrina.
Good morning, Ms. Sabrina. Thank you for having us.
And good morning to our audience. We thank you very much for listening in.
It's a pleasure. Well, let's hear a little bit about where we're coming from and where we plan to go as it pertains to Rotary Club Central, Cayman Islands.
Dr. Naudi is our past president, and we have a way of not retiring our people. We put on new tires.
Oh, okay.
So he's now a director.
Nice.
And then, you know, who will tell what the future brings.
Exactly. Only time will tell.
Yep.
Carl,
Go
kick
ahead.
off with a bit of history.
Our bus shelter program was started in 1993, and it commenced because of a serious community need that we saw in a growing community that was taxed with increased population and the movement of people. And because of the increase in industry and increase in commerce, increase in traffic, people coming out to work early, increase in students going to school. That means we, as a community, were faced with the challenge of making sure that there was transportation efficiencies. There was absolutely hardly any public bus system as such.
Correct.
And it started to roll forward. However, as time kind of started to spin, our Rotary Club stepped in and considered this particular need an important need enough to expend and plan toward making conveniences for traveling passengers. It was stark. We would see children by the wayside that were exposed to wind, rain, and the elements, and young and old people who had to go to work, especially in our hotel industry, from early in the morning,
correct.
from 5:30. So we commenced the program, and then we started to initiate some sort of sustenance over time. Now, our Rotary clubs are framed in each year to be fiscally handcuffed to an annual year for projects. However, there was a bit of understanding that this was a perpetual need, and we were able to adjust our
schedule or regular plans,
our resolutions to accommodate this particular project going forward. And I'll hand over to Dr. Naudi.
Yes, I think as a little bit of additional background, Ms. Sabrina, Rotary has various areas of focus. Economic and community development. We've spoken about our junior achievement program on the show before.
Yes.
We do what we call international service. So we donate to areas in need, especially in our region, hurricane-affected areas, that sort of thing. And we get donations if we are the ones who are suffering. So Rotary, as an international community through the Rotary Foundation, does a lot of international support work, education. We're currently looking at peace fellowships and promoting peace in the world, health, all sorts of health factors. And so what is important for the listening public to understand is that the bus shelters is more than just a little cubicle next to the road.
Exactly.
It actually ties in to a big, wide world out there, and the funds are utilized for that. That just as a bit of background.
And as a tandem to that, in referring to our larger global organism, we help with projects around the world. The world helps with projects here.
Quite.
So
comes around full circle.
We'll present a project to our international group through our district, which is District Chapter 20, which is 13 countries, 13 islands, 14 countries, because St. Martin has 2 countries and 1 island. But we work along with our extended family to secure funding to take care of needs here, and we also reciprocally work with them. The ignition goes all over the world because there is this helping hand that goes around the world. In addition to what Dr. Nadia said about our global reach, we were the first service club to start in the world, and we are the only non-governmental organization that has an office situated at the United Nations.
Nice. Wow.
And that is because of our involvement in matters of international peace and understanding,
right.
Education from in that era. And because of how effective our organization was, we were recognized and asked for help. And as such, our help was accepted, and it was so effective that we do have an office at the United Nations.
So looking at the role in which this jurisdiction plays, how is that far reach in looking at a looking at it globally? We say we're a small island, but I'm quite sure the works that have been done here is far reaching.
I think that is why I wanted to tie that into the history and the background of the bus shelters. We, as Carl referred to, live on an annual basis. Yes. Our club leaderships change in all the clubs in Rotary worldwide. The 1st of July, and the current board for that year serves for a year, and then they change over to the next board in July. So most of Rotary's projects locally are normally focused within that time period for that year. Right. But we obviously have things like this going on, and I just wanted for the listening public to understand that the bus shelters are a part of our local fundraising for Rotary Central, one of the 3 Rotary clubs in Grand Cayman, and then also part of the bigger world in terms of hurricane preparedness and all sorts of other things.
Now, understanding that these bus shelters offers advertising space, can we just talk a little bit about that, how effective that's been and how effective it can be for business as a whole?
Well, we started out with the altruism that we were providing a modest convenience for our moving public. And after starting there, we understood that there is a cost attached to construction, even though all our work is voluntary, and we hardly hire anybody outside to do anything. The expertise is found within the club, but we understand the reality of a rolling cost, maintenance. When a bus shelter gets in the way of a driver at night, yes. And whenever we have weather impact, we need to replace those shelters. So we have embarked and had embarked from near beginning in engaging the public to utilize these spaces to promote their businesses. The interesting thing is that we know that we have a unique niche because the municipal laws in Cayman do not allow for the placing of billboards.
Exactly.
And our facility is diverse enough to accommodate both billboards within good, decent kind of a...
And it's confined, not obstructing.
The presence is not
either.
Obstructing, and it's within the decent graphic design, current cutting edge marketing technology. So we have diverse businesses from banks, insurance companies, real estate agencies, everybody trying to promote their sandwiches, motor vehicles. Over the years, I remember I was marketing manager at a financial institution. It was British American Bank at the time, and we were one of the first people to place advertisements in the shelters. At that time, Western Union was being launched. And strategically, it worked well with our marketing plan over at British American Bank at the time, because that particular target market was utilizing those bus steps, bus shelters in a way probably a little more over 60%. So there are a number of ways to look at why we do advertising. It's an opportunity that is unique. It has placement that is nowhere else. You can't get that in the island. And we have not ventured to do political advertisements yet, because that would create a little more attention than probably we need.
Yes, I think, Sabrina, to answer the question about the advertising working or not, I think that is very easily answered by me, who does the administration of the spots. I see that most sponsors keep their spots once they have them literally locked in, year on, year on, year on, year on, which is sometimes a bit of a challenge for us. We try to keep it alive and keep rotating it, but our setup is such that if somebody has a spot and they like it and it works for them, then they keep it. And I would say 95% of that's the case in 95% of cases, that people hold on to the spots. So it must be working for them.
Yes.
Some of them have held them longer than some marriages
I
have lasted.
see. Well, we're not going there, but that's quite true. That's quite true.
Yes,
well, maybe that's opening a gateway for additional shelters then. Because if there's such a demand for advertising, why not strategically look at places that other shelters can be placed? And it's a win-win for everybody if the demand is so much.
Yeah, we have been doing that. We've basically on average grown probably by about 10 shelters every year in the last 5, 6, 7 years. We currently have a footprint of 82 shelters, plus or minus. Some of them fall away because a motor vehicle happens to drive on that path.
Take them away.
Especially in some hours of the night.
Yeah.
And then some fall to construction or building projects or whatever where they are in the way. So it's a moving footprint all the time. That, before I forget, that leads me to one thing that I made a little mental note of on the way here. Is Cayman Brac is the next area we are expanding to. We've actually already got 2 shelters delivered to Cayman Brac. They need to be
installed,
assembled and installed and whatever. So yes, we are, to answer your question, growing the footprint.
Excellent.
People will see that there's a lot more shelters in the eastern districts, especially about 2 years ago we had a consignment of about 20 shelters, most of which went out Bontown and further east.
Okay.
We even got number 0 now at Rumpoint. So the shelters are numbered from, and I call it number 0 because we had number 1, which was out in the east, and then we added one even further. So Rumpoint shelter is number 0.
Now, are they constructed here, or they're only assembled on island?
They are designed and they are prefabricated.
Okay.
When they come in packages, when they arrive, we have enough expertise within our club to do Sunday or Saturday work parties and assemble them in a jiffy. And we cannot thank our community partners enough for lending us assistance. A.L. Thompson and the Thrust plant, their gentleman who drives for them, who operates some of their heavy equipment, their forklift, he's had a relationship with us in terms of helping and doing and making sure that it really works.
Okay. So. Excellent information being shared here. Once we come back after this short break, we'll talk a little bit about how persons can become members or just lending a helping hand, wanting to volunteer on certain projects. And we'll also get some information on upcoming projects throughout the year. Keep it locked to the Business Buzz for more when we come back.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, sponsored by Cayman National Bank. Visit Cayman National Bank today for all of your financial needs. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Pedro St. James, the birthplace of democracy, in the Cayman Islands was built in 1780 by an Englishman named William Eden. Many of his descendants are still living in the Cayman Islands, one of whom is a tour guide at the Great House today. Although spelled in the traditional Spanish way, Caymanians pronounce the name as Pedro. Pedro St. James has endured fires and hurricanes, and as such several transformations over the years. In the mid-1990s, the 3-story Great House, then deemed a National Historical Site, was reopened. Situated in Bordentown, the country's first capital, Pedro St. James holds important significance in history and is a source of pride for the Caymanian people.
Radio Cayman's Historical Facts Vignettes are proudly brought to you by Cayman National, with branches on all 3 Cayman Islands. Visit Cayman National Bank today for all of your financial needs.
When you need stability, think Business of the Year.
Considering a new career opportunity, think Best Place to Work.
When dependability matters, think Outstanding Workforce.
In need of a reliable financial partner? Think Bank of the Year.
When you seek excellence, think Cayman National.
No matter how many accomplishments we achieve, we always set the bar higher. That's why we are the most awarded bank in Cayman, and we are proud to be your
2018 Bank of the Year.
Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with Cayman Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. Cayman Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies. Free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by Cayman Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery.
Having a family means providing for them physically, emotionally, and financially. And in today's ever-changing world, it's always best to be prepared. Life insurance is a guaranteed way of ensuring that your family is always provided for. Life insurance agent Michael Webster at Cayman Insurance Center can offer you this peace of mind with the best competitive premiums and most affordable rates on island. CIC has a variety of products to meet your needs, including homeowners insurance and college saving plans. For top-of-the-line in personal service, call Michael Webster today at 925-LIFE. That's 925-5433. Or email michael.webster@cic.com.ky. Don't take chances with your family's future. Call Michael today at 925-5433. Michael Webster is a proud supporter of the Business Buzz and Radio Cayman. You may have heard of them by now. GreenTurtle.ky, a one-stop shop for your mobile needs. Whether shopping for a new phone or topping up a loved one, it's time to hop aboard the Green Turtle Express. From 24-hour delivery in Grand Cayman to sending credit worldwide, GreenTurtle.ky is the future of mobile. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. GreenTurtle.ky. They get there first.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. Business Buzz.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz and keeping the spotlight on Rotary Club Central Cayman Islands. They received its charter on October 30th, 1986, and since then they've been heavily involved in serving the community of the Cayman Islands. And we're pleased to have joining us in studio Director, Past President, Dr. Naudi Dreyer, and he's joined by Rotarian Mr. Carl Brown. Now, talking about the advertising and rates, what are we looking at, Doctor?
The bus shelters are basically divided into 2 zones. Everything to the east of Hurley's roundabout is Zone 2, which is a little bit cheaper. The outside panels on those shelters are $750 per annum, and the inside spots are $450.
Okay.
And then spots in Georgetown up West Bay Road are in Zone 1, and there the outside spots are $1,600 per annum for the outsides and $950 for the inside advertising panel for a year. And that's from the 1st of July to coincide with the Rotary to the 30th of June for the following year.
Okay.
If anybody's interested in starting not at those given points, we do a prorated sort of contract for that time slot.
Okay.
What they need to do is email Rotary Shelters with a S at gmail.com, so multiple Rotary Shelters at gmail.com, and we have a link to a map that shows most of the locations. Unfortunately, like I said earlier, it's a bit of a moving target, so keeping it absolutely up to date is sometimes a bit of a challenge. But most shelters are on there. And then we have a spreadsheet that shows which spots are available in these shelters at any given point. So anybody interested can contact Rotary Shelters at gmail.com. If they see an advertised year panel in some of the shelters, which we occasionally refresh, the email address is on there too, so that's how they get in. Or otherwise, just contact any member of Rotary Central, and we can provide them, first of all, with availability and with more information as to how exactly it works, which panels. Some shelters have 5 panels, some have 4, but I think that's a bit too technical for this point in time, but that's how it works.
Any rates for the BRACas yet, understanding that they're about to be erected?
No, we will probably, because we like to keep the business of the BRAC Rotary Club to the BRAC Rotary Club, we'll probably leave that to them.
To them,
it's a question of us helping them with getting the program started.
Right.
We've also helped the Rotary Club in the BVI a few years ago, so it's a project that has created a lot of interest. When we had our Rotary District Conference here a few years ago, a lot of people spoke to me about it, and that's how it came about that we had, even the BVI had shelters going now.
Now
the cost of insertion is comparable to one day's newspaper advert.
Okay.
And
look how long that is.
And and you have the privilege of changing your insert as many times as you
want
like.
During your contract.
So you of course, our premier positions have a command of significant traffic flow.
Correct.
That we could provide some sort of a synopsis of information regarding the viewing public that's passing at particular prime time.
Excellent.
So
Excellent.
There is a...
Let's talk a little bit about membership, and how can persons who may be looking to be a member of Rotary, how can they become a part of this group or just want to volunteer on your events?
Well, Rotary has a membership that's based on a series of professions. You're invited by a current member, and you will be exposed to the club's activities, its regimen, and its ceremonies, and then you will decide whether you would like to commit. And after a while, you will be invited to commit, and then you'll pay your dues, and then you will put on your gloves, and you'll be assigned to work boots.
Okay.
And we have several areas of service that you will be involved in, and then you'll be transitioned into walking up the path of further service. That means probably on 48-hour, 24-hour call.
He makes it sound scary.
Yeah, he does scare me too. I think what is important too, Mr. Bruno, to understand is that the Rotary, because we offer such a variety of programs, is literacy, there's reading for children in the libraries, there's, like I say, business development. We have various youth world affairs seminar and youth leadership programs. So there's something for everybody, and I think that is what makes it also the different areas of service. Some people health focused. We've done our diabetes screenings in the supermarkets very successfully in past years. So if you look at the the range of community and projects that we offer, there's really something for anybody who's interested in serving.
And it also reflects on how our membership is chosen too.
Right.
It goes right across the stream of professions.
Right.
So within our Rotary Club membership, you will find people from all walks of life and professions, and you represent your profession.
And fortunately now also all ages.
Yes.
Rotary used to be an old man's club, but
yes.
We now have a really nice mix of
excellent. So you
gender,
get the best
age,
of all the worlds.
Yes,
all sorts of.
There was a time it was an all-males club.
So now it's gender mixed, neutral.
Very much so.
Yeah.
And like I say, also age mix. We have a lot of very young, active members in various areas. So it's fun.
Now let's talk about the upcoming projects, because time is definitely catching up on us.
We do have a science fair that's just around the corner. And that is our National Science Fair, it culminates at the Arc at Kamala Bay. Mm-hmm. And it incorporates most of our secondary schools and primary schools. And that goes right across the Tri-Island community. It enables youngsters to reach into their learning circle and bring ideas to forth. In fact, we've had a lot of innovation that has come forth. And we have also had a lot of inspiration where youngsters have found where they would like to be in life.
Excellent.
So that is one. We have a youth affairs seminar, which is going to be in Wisconsin in June. There are processes effected to have participants being chosen. We've got 4 candidates who will go with a chaperone to a youth affairs seminar in Wisconsin, World Affairs seminar, that incorporates about 20 to 30 countries, 1,600 youngsters getting together to discuss world problems. We have RILA, which is a Youth Leadership Award program for this region. And this year we're going to be having the RILA seminar in Jamaica within the next 2 months. Okay. We have several other programs that are coming on stream, but those...
We are going to run out of time, Sabrina. If you ask Carl about what we're doing, we can go on and on and on and on. One thing that we may not miss is we've just started renovating a little bridge in the Mastic Trail, which on Sunday was our first active project out there. We've been talking to the National Trust. Our club built a little bridge over a really wet area in the Mastic Trail. I'm not exactly
1993.
sure. 1993.
I was there. It was my first project.
Yeah. So
under
many years ago,
and
it is now being renovated. So if people are looking at getting their hands and feet dirty and trying to make something that can stand another 30 years, that would be a really great opportunity, because we can use some hands, even if it's just carrying an electric drill or a piece of plank or a bit of marl into the road the path to improve it. So our club will be working actively before the summer on rebuilding that little bridge and doing some work to improve the trail.
What is going to happen with that? Director Nod is directly in charge of that. We are going to be having aggregate on wood, and we're going to be engaging the public when we notify them to assist us if you're walking through the trail to carry a bit of wood carry a bit of aggregate. And because the trail is, it's 2 hours long, we are going to ask your assistance to carry this wood up to this point, leave it there, and we cannot pay you for how that will help us to have this. It
leaves a good feeling. You've done your share. You've done
Mastic
your
Trail
part.
Improve the trail.
It's a historic trail that goes back to usage from late 1700s, early 1800s.
Yeah. Well, in a quick wrap-up, gentlemen, what would you like to leave with our listening audience? And I would welcome you to just explain quickly the importance of maintaining and respecting these bus shelters. Yes. Please, so quickly, due to time.
Yes, we have put out some garbage collection bins, for instance, in some of the areas that were problematic, trying to use those properly and not litter too much around the shelters. That will be a great help. People should please not post some garage sale or boot sale posters into the shelters, because as the sun bakes on them, it gets very difficult to clean them and get off the sticky tape and stuff that they would put in there. So if you're very right, Mr. Brady, if they could just not abuse the shelters in that way. Also, we don't know how to, but we have quite a bit of vandalism, panels broken, that sort of stuff. If people can please refrain from doing that deliberately. I think that's all I can say.
And you can advise people who you see that may likely want to do so, vandalize, ask them to be discouraged from doing so.
Yeah.
And at night, we'd like for you to reduce your medication, that you do not have a bus shelter walk out in front of you.
Yeah.
You could blame it on the shelters. Yeah. Gentlemen, thank you so much. It has been a pleasure. Thank you for allowing us to put this spotlight on your organization, and we wish you continued success, and we hope that this is a joint partnership that the public and everyone who can see these shelters, and along with all of the works that you do, will give the respect so that they'll be there for a long time and for all of us to enjoy.
Thank you, Radio Cayman. Thank you for listening, audience.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Stay tuned for more of the 8 o'clock news sports and a new financial report coming up. Afterwards, we will put the spotlight on Property Cayman.
Thank you, Sabrina. And studio time now is 8 a.m. And this time check brought to you by Price Right.
Price Right is Grand Cayman's warehouse shopping superstore, making your dollar go further with huge savings and no membership fees. Get more of the things you use every day at the right price. But it's not just grocery and health and beauty. Price Right has a full range of products from office to automotive, patio furnishings to kitchen appliances, and even electronics. And since warehouse prices mean savings for you, everything is priced right at Priced Right, Grand Cayman's warehouse shopping superstore.
Access and information. Your community. News and information. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
With your latest news, I'm Karsley Fuller. The Office of the Auditor General issues a public interest report providing a snapshot of remunerations and board compensation for statutory authorities and government bodies. Radio Cayman's April Cummings has more.
Auditor General Sue Winspear makes it clear the report puts factual information in the public domain but makes no recommendations. She says the remuneration paid to key management personnel varies significantly across the SAGCs, and there is currently no standardized job evaluation system or salary and allowances scale for statutory authorities and government companies. She adds the Public Authorities Law intends to deliver a standardized pay system, but the implementation for that particular clause in the law has been pushed back to June 2019. The report highlights that of the 24 SAGCs reviewed, there were a total of 99 board members compensated, and those board members were paid around $788,000 in the 18-month period. Ms. Winspear notes compensation for board members truly varies across SAGCs. Some board members provide their services for free, while others are paid up to $4,500 a month. In cases where board members are compensated, she says the basis also differs across SAGCs, with some being paid a monthly sum, others paid for each meeting attended. You can see the full report online at auditorgeneral.gov.ky. April Cummings, Radio Cayman News.
A 25-year-old Georgetown man is charged in connection with a stabbing that happened last week on Watlers Road. Police say the 25-year-old was originally arrested on suspicion of causing grievous bodily harm, but has since been charged with wounding with intent or wounding. The man was due to appear before the summary courts on Monday. Just a quick note for drivers, heads up, be prepared today as the National Roads Authority continues roadworks on Printer Way from Shen Road to Thomas Russell Avenue. This is part of the larger Elgin Avenue and Crew Road extension project. The work is taking place today from 9 until 4. Also tomorrow, same times, 9 to 4. Printer Way will be open to local access only during this time. Organizers for the 7th Annual Red Sky at Night Festival are looking for a handful of demonstrators for its new festival attraction, Caymanian Village.
Who do you know, or is it yourself, that can be suggested to come in and do conch shell blowing? Who, Caymanian or status holder, can handle a soldier crab race? Who can do thatch plaiting, thatch roofing, mixing limestone daub, making animal trap, building part of a cat boat, storytelling? Anything that was in the past a part of our heritage. We're hoping for a good percentage of those activities to be on show.
Cayman National Cultural Foundation's Virginia Foster tells Radio Cayman you have until February 11th to submit a name or individuals who'd be interested in doing the live presentations. Red Sky at Night is March 2nd at the Harkle Theater from 4 until midnight. You can email vfoster@artscayman.org or head to artscayman.org for more information. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC who will take us out of the newscast. I'm Karsley Fuller from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
BBC News with Debbie Russ. Police in Paris say they believe a fire that engulfed a residential building during the night, killing 10 people, was started deliberately. They have arrested a woman who lived there. Prosecutors said she had psychiatric problems. The former Afghan President Hamid Karzai and a delegation of influential opposition figures are meeting the Taliban in Moscow for political talks. Many hope this will help break the deadlock, preventing a peace agreement. Facebook says it's taken down the accounts of 4 rebel insurgent groups in Myanmar accused of attacks against civilians. This follows its suspension of the accounts of 20 military officers last year. Pope Francis has ended the first ever papal visit to the Arabian Peninsula, the birthplace of Islam, with an open-air mass in the United Arab Emirates. The Pope's visit was in keeping with his efforts to reach out to the world's Muslims. State media in Ethiopia are reporting that more than 200 people have been arrested in the west of the country, where they were receiving illegal military training. Ethnic clashes there have displaced tens of thousands of people. BBC News.
Access information. What's happening in your community? News and information, music and more. You can find us. www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Radio Cayman is your choice, your voice for today's biggest news. Radio Cayman.
Healthcare Pharmacy in Governor Square and Grand Harbor has the largest and the best collection of Hallmark and Shoebox Valentine's Day cards. Poetic cards, serious cards, seriously funny cards, fabulous cards, and the perfect card for your Valentine. Healthcare Pharmacy also has Hallmark gift boxes, brand name perfume and cologne sets, home spa kits, and quotable quotes for your Valentine. So this year, make it a perfect Valentine's Day with Healthcare Pharmacy, Grand Harbor, and Governor Square.
Hello, I am Noel March, a small business owner in Georgetown for over 20 years. Small businesses depend on government to develop a quality infrastructure and environment that encourages entrepreneurs to create and grow local businesses, resulting in the creation of jobs and prosperity for Caymanians. Small businesses help drive our economy. Just as we have supported building the new airport, we must support the building of the new cargo and cruise port. It will give our tourism industry the opportunity to grow and Caymanian entrepreneurs the chance to shine. Support the port. Support our tourism.
From happy beginnings to happy ever after.
BritK protects your lifestyle with the best insurance cover at the best possible price.
Health insurance with far-reaching benefits.
95% of claims settled in 5 days.
Low-cost life insurance.
And investments.
Security in retirement.
With a custodian pension plan.
For happy beginnings and a happy ever after.
Visit BritK.ky or call 949-8699.
BritK, where people come first.
At Flow, we know that 4 are better than 1. Introducing Flow Quad Play. Packed with the fastest, most reliable broadband, the power and control of Flow Evo TV, Cayman's best mobile experience, and tons of home phone minutes, all in one convenient package from only $199 a month. With 4 plans to choose from, you're sure to find one that fits your needs. It's value, ease, and convenience all on one bill with Cayman's #1 network. Find out why 4 are better than 1 with Flow Quad Play at discoverflow.ky. Terms and conditions apply.
A pleasant good morning. Time now for the latest weather report. Current temperature is 77 degrees. Relative humidity is 87%. Barometric pressure at 30.00 inches and rising. The wind is east-northeast at 11 knots. Overnight low temperature was 68. Synopsis indicate moderate winds and seas expected over the Cayman area for the next 24 hours as a high-pressure system builds over the southeast United States. Isolated showers are expected tonight as an upper-level trough moves over the northwest Caribbean, and radar images show no showers over the Cayman area this time. Now the forecast for today calling for mainly fair skies with a 20% chance of showers, and temperatures will be in the mid-80s. Your winds will be northeast at 10 to 15 knots, and seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers, and temperatures will fall to the low 70s. Winds will be northeast, 50 to 20 knots tonight, and seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. High tide will be this afternoon at 1:21, low tide tonight at 11 minutes past 8. The sun will set this evening at 6:19 and will rise tomorrow morning at 6:59. And the outlook is calling for mainly fair skies from tomorrow evening as the upper level trough moves east of the Cayman area. Fresh winds and rough seas will continue through Thursday morning as the high pressure system continues to build over the southeast United States. Once again, we tell you what's happening on our roads. Busy traffic coming from the east and Shamrock Road. Also heavy traffic on the Linford Pearson Highway. And steady traffic coming off of Bobby Thompson Way, Huldah Avenue, little steady traffic as well on Cool Road. And just to remind you, road works are scheduled for today and tomorrow between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Perters Way will be open to local access only during this time. Drivers have been asked to keep watch for traffic diversions and to drive with caution to ensure your safety and that of the work crews. Looking at what's happening on North Sound Road, traffic is moderate. Traffic light to moderate coming from the West Bay 4-way stop. On the West Bay Road in front of the Ritz, traffic moving on moderately. Moderate traffic as well on Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue, Edward Street and Shedden Road, traffic flowing pretty good. And on Cool Road, steady traffic in some sections, other section busy. That's what's happening on your roads. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12. We'll update you traffic-wise. Stay tuned. The Business Buzz with Sabrina Turner continues next.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz. I'm your host, Sabrina Turner, and is proudly sponsored by greenturtle.ky, Cayman Medical Supplies, and Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years in the Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance. Now let's get back to our topic at hand, and let's put the focus and spotlight on Property Cayman with Michael Joseph and Stephen Pryor. Gentlemen, good morning and welcome to our show.
Good morning, Sabrina. Good morning. Thanks for having us.
I understand real estate is a hot topic recently. It's a buyer's market. It's a seller's market. I don't know what kind of market, but I guess you guys are in a sweet spot right about now.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a busy sort of time to be a real estate agent at the moment. But I mean, on your kind of comment, I would say firmly a seller's market, but that doesn't mean that, it's not a bad time to sort of buy either. So
investment time is for investment. So let's talk a little bit more about Cayman property. What is it all about?
I would say Cayman is a unique place in the region, the world. We're a safe harbor in a world that's gone a bit haywire and tangled and vulnerable and volatile and crazy. And as Cayman becomes increasingly discovered, we've even got flights now coming in from Denver in March.
Yes.
And it's that sort of thing, Cebu, these sorts of things, new hotels, new investors come to Cayman. They're starting to discover Cayman as being a pretty unique and special place. And those of us that live here, and the listening audience as well, we perhaps sometimes we often forget just how lucky we are and how blessed we are. It's such a special place, a wonderful community, and that is Cayman's property market. It's a solid community of special place. It's just wonderful here.
Now, the two of you are real estate agents, but real estate agent is a real estate agent. Is that the right way of looking at it, or I had to go there? Just another real estate agent.
Yes and no. I mean, in short, a real estate agent will help you sell your house.
Right.
However, now I need to be careful what I say.
What we're trying to do is
no intent to put you under the bus.
Sure. You said spotlight at the beginning of this set. What we're trying to do is differentiate ourselves from the usual, making a good thing better. Instead of being just your quintessential, your real estate agent, sales guy, we're really trying to factor in a lot more of the human aspect, the community, the lifestyle. We recognize just how difficult it is to experience the property market. Mm-hmm. We know that these are long-term relationships. We're not making decisions or guiding our clients based on what's best for our business. We're genuinely, and I can't make it clear enough, we are genuinely focused on what's best for our client, because when you focus on long-term in a small community, always doing the right thing, the fair thing, not that our colleagues in the industry don't do this, but we really are focused on treating our clients as family, and making sure we're guiding them to the very best for them.
Right.
And oftentimes that means don't buy now.
Right.
We really do say you're not ready,
right.
or don't sell yet.
Yes.
Which is completely contrary to what real estate agents are about.
You're honest, and that's key.
Yeah, no, we're extremely passionate about what we do, and the advice that we give our clients is exactly the same advice that I would give my mum, who actually recently sold her house. The same advice.
Did she have separation issues?
But it wasn't in Cayman.
Yeah.
It wasn't in Cayman.
Oh, okay.
Huge separation issues. I mean, she's been in the house for 15 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
It's a huge emotional experience.
Yeah.
And a part of our job as agents is to help, kind of monitor that those sort of nerves and help guide them accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well said.
Now, could both of you tell us, in your own perspective, a little bit about the current real estate trend here in the Cayman market?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of mentioned it before. Obviously, the 7 Mile Corridor is, becoming the center of the island and extremely buoyant. Everyone, because it's convenient. It's close to Georgetown, Camana Bay, obviously the beautiful beach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's the trend is classic sellers market. You have high demand and low supply. Which means
supply and demand.
Fewer and fewer options available to people, which makes those that are available increasingly expensive. Mm-hmm. So this is a beautiful seller's market. If you're thinking about selling, then there's the opportunity to get a great bang for buck. However, part of our guidance is to make sure that you've got that replacement property, which may mean you buy a piece of land and you rent for a period of time. Now, renting's great if it serves a purpose for a period of time. But you need to make sure you're not renting haphazardly forevermore, because you're building somebody else's equity.
Correct.
You're not building your own equity. The trend in the market is Cayman is under high demand. I think probably for the next 18 months we're going to see this current situation where there's fewer and fewer options available in certain sectors of the market. And then it's going to stabilize. It'll level out. Prices may come down a little bit, just like nobody can see me on the radio, but I'm going up and down with my finger. But
we're streaming live, so they can check you out later.
So any graph will go up and down. And with high market, slow market, busy summer season slows down, whatever. But generally over time, there's an incline. Mm-hmm. Prices will go up, but prices will never go back to the pre-crisis numbers ever. So whilst a lot of people are frustrated that perhaps they're missing or have missed the boat, the reality is the best time to buy was 30 years ago. The second best time to buy is today.
Right.
Because in 10, 5, 10, 15, 20 years' time, you'll wish that you had.
And actually on that point, people are always thinking, oh, geez, I wish I bought, 3-5 years ago. I'm not going to buy now. But you can't look back. You've got to look forward. And where is the market going? Cayman's it's a fantastic, place. So you've got to look where the values are heading and get in on that.
Right. Get ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone who's looking to buy this year or looking to buy right now?
Don't panic. Would be my first piece of advice. And it's easy to get wrapped up, if all of your friends are buying, etc. But look at, firstly, what you can afford. So the first protocol, before you even start shopping online, etc., is talk to your bank about what they will lend you mortgage-wise. And then that gives you a fixed parameter that you can work with. And then you don't have to go up to that. Just because the bank are willing to lend you X doesn't mean you have to,
max
stretch
it out.
Yeah, exactly. And that's and bear in mind that interest rates in the coming years will be, increasing. So you want to make sure it's something that's affordable. And then one thing that I always tell clients is your exit strategy. People are always thinking about the here and now. They see a new property that they like the look of. It's going to enhance their lifestyle, give them more space. But think about your exit strategy. So when are you going to sell that property? Is it 3, 5, 10, 15 years, because that's going to make a big difference on the type of property that you buy.
You may not know when you want to sell or need to sell or have to sell, but at least if you go in knowing from the get-go that, okay, this is something that's sellable or rentable, based on the location. Location is key. And then second to that, obviously, your lifestyle. You don't want to sacrifice lifestyle for...
Exactly.
But we do genuinely give a lot of that, what's your exit strategy? We need to make sure that our clients are exhausting their options before they pull the trigger on something.
What about those persons that are looking to sell? That can be a total different...
Yes, and again, it's a very stressful experience. It's a big deal, and we're here to help guide you through that. A lot of people in this market, it is a buoyant market, so yes, you can sell your property yourself, but it pains me because a lot of owners are leaving serious amounts of money on the table. They think they're saving a few thousand on the commission, but actually they're leaving, 5 times that of money on the table. So I'd say definitely speak to an agent, somebody that you know has worked well with a previous family or friend. And then, seek their advice.
Somebody with experience, of course. And listen, we recognize that there is a private market out there. And there will always be in any market a private market. And I think our main issue is that sometimes we cringe when we see, oh God, look at those photos are terrible. They're doing their property a disjustice, and they could be getting so much more out of it. And the other thing is that when a buyer contacts a for sale by owner, the for sale by owner doesn't necessarily, and oftentimes they do, but doesn't necessarily know what questions to ask the buyer. And they end up getting a little bit ahead of themselves, and the buyer will say, yeah, I've got the money. And now you're sacrificing your property because you're turning down other potential buyers because you've committed to a buyer that really doesn't have the ability, hasn't been to the bank yet, even though they said they had. Because they're excited to buy it as well. Yeah, we want it. But an agent is able to vet and qualify buyers a lot quicker from the get-go, saving everybody time and helping our client make money.
What is the importance of getting an evaluation on property, be it as a purchaser or a seller?
A purchaser is going to require one, or their bank is going to require it as part of their financing, so it's absolutely paramount. And it's important that they... assess, the true value of a property, because just because you're willing to pay, $200,000 for a property doesn't mean that the property is necessarily worth that, or it may actually be worth more. So it is important to clarify that. As a seller, you don't always have to get a valuation when you're looking to sell a property. We as agents will give a market analysis of what we feel we can get or sell your property for in the current market.
And that price, the market analysis we do is based on your property journey, your personal timeline. What is it where are your priorities? What is your timeline? And what is your replacement property and your exit strategy on that property? All those things, your property journey, play into your current home. So whilst we can say, yes, if you need to sell, you have to sell now because of kids' college, whatever it may be, then you've got a 3-month window, then this is the price. And then we can sort of go through all the way up to, if you're not in a rush, we can wait 2 years or come to the market in 2 years' time.
On that point of selling, though, first impressions are absolutely key. And we talk about this all the time. And if you're a homeowner, you've been living in the house for several years, you may not actually necessarily see the property in the same light that a new buyer sees it, which is why it's often advantageous to get a third opinion from an agent. But look at the property from a buyer's eye. So declutter inside, paint throughout so it smells, like fresh paint, clean. Do your front yard because first impressions are absolutely key.
There's an expression, I think it's your own home blind, right?
Yes.
Because you go, I love my home. Yeah, but nobody else does.
Exactly.
You're just used to the smell or the shape or the awkward layout of the floor plan. But just like Stefan says, we did a blog on our website. We do several of these things on a regular basis, but one of which is the top 10 tips to prepare your home for sale. And you can't just suddenly go to market. You need to prepare your home before you go to the market.
Yeah, so do it on an ongoing basis. But if you head to propertycayman.com/blog, there is so much info that we put up there in order to help you sell your house.
Now, understanding that the news lately that Cayman's property market is booming, is this good news for Caymanians or Cayman, or even good news for who?
Well, the flip side...
Coastal, inland?
Well, a very simple answer to that is the other side of the coin is a very depressed property market, and nobody wants that because you're not gaining equity in your home, and you're going backwards. So, personally, it has to be a good thing. You want to be in a increasing market.
It's it's progress. Mm-hmm. And like growing up here, Sabrina, remember when we were younger and you would, the time, we're all nostalgic. Everyone's nostalgic in some sense. And looking back and what it used to be, or if only it could be just like this now and doesn't get any bigger. That sort of thing stifles our personal lives, all of us, every single one of us, regardless of where you are on the socioeconomic scale. And I need to come up with a different terminology for this, but it's kind of like, it doesn't matter what we say or do, this is going to happen anyway.
Anyway, right.
And I think that what's nice about Cayman is that we all have the ability to get involved with and have influence on what actually is happening. We'd like to think that, at least, but we have a very strict planning department, and there is general controls over what is done, where it's done, and how it's done. But unfortunately, we're going to see more and more 10-story towers on 7 Mile Beach and other places. Rum Point has got a 5-story building there. You can't actually see it because it's just below the tops of the trees. But one day there's going to be a 10-story tower up there. Yeah. I don't know when. I have no idea when, but it's just inevitable.
And actually on that point, the alternative, again, if there are no more properties built, then that would, and a lot of people, anti, all of this development. But on the other side of the coin, if no more properties were built, supply would decrease as demand increases, and then property prices get even more unattainable. So it is important to welcome this growth and development.
Yeah, it also supports, as you would expect, jobs, construction, banking,
and the
financial sectors.
And
so the down effect is
exactly the tourism department sector as well.
So it keeps a lot of people in jobs, and that money then flows through the island. So it is important.
Now, what does the future of Cayman property look like from your perspective?
Property Cayman or Cayman property?
Both. We're going to do both.
So Property Cayman, us and our team, we just want to give the best customer service we can to people looking to buy or sell homes. That's it, in its simplest sense.
Based on our community, and we're very conscious of we're going to see our customers and clients in the supermarket, at the cancer walk, and wherever it may be. So we're here for that genuine long-term relationship type thing. That's Property Cayman. But from as far as Cayman property is, which is probably where you were going with that, just to give ourselves a little pat on the back, Stefan, for that. But the Cayman property market is up and up and up. I think for probably the next 8 to 10 years, there's going to be a gradual increase in demand and therefore development, and therefore population growth is going to drive that. And the population demands what they want. People will upsize or downsize during that time, but I think generally speaking, there's this new surge of energy going on in Cayman's property because we're so unique to the world.
Yes. For those persons who may have this adrenaline rush of let me try to get a piece of my country, my home, and feels like it's going too fast and not being able to tap into resources because of processing time, what advice would you give to those persons that feel, if I don't get it now, if I don't get it now, what's going to happen next year? What's going to happen? Because I'm bidding with other people who I probably can't even bid with.
Right. They're already ahead of us. That's a really good question, and it's something that we're very cognizant of, right? The government is also aware of that, hence why they come up with stamp duty revisions to make sure that there is always will be the ability for Caymanians to secure their slice of their home. And we all know of these horror stories from different jurisdictions where that has not been the case. So Cayman has the ability to protect its Caymanians. We all just need to remember to hold on to family property if you've got it. And if you don't have any family property and you want to get into the market, again, don't worry about yesteryear and what we could have, would have, should have got it for. Remember that here is your opportunity to get a slice of something and look into the future with guidance, perhaps from your real estate agent or others, what's coming around the corner. And you need to consider the future. You're not buying for now, you're buying forever, right?
Yeah, and make a plan. Whether you want to buy kind of now or in 5 years, just make a plan, right? I need X amount of money or, 10% for my deposits. You've got your stamp duty waiver, so you don't have to worry about that. What do I have to put aside each month in order to make that deposit?
Right.
Work towards that. Make a plan is my advice.
What I get from you all is that you got to go have the talk with your financial person, a bank.
Absolutely.
You know what the requirements are so that you know what you're saving for as well.
Yeah. I mean, you need money to, buy a property, and the bank will lend
even if it's closing costs. Even if you get your stamp duty waived, you still need closing costs.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the bank needs to be confident that they're able to lend to you, so they need to know that you have saved up.
Exactly.
So always save.
And
even
have a proven track record.
Absolutely.
Even
if you don't know what you're saving for, always save. Just save a little slice of everything every month.
A little bit each month. And then at the end of the year, at the end of a few years, it all adds up.
There we go. We're going to take a very short break, and when we come back, we'll hear more about Property Cayman with Michael Joseph and Stephen Pryor.
Oh gosh.
Don't let the stress of taking care of loved ones get you down.
Home care, now made easier with Cayman Medical Supplies. 100% Caymanian owned. Cayman Medical Supplies now stocks a wide range of home care supplies. Hospital beds, all types of wheelchairs, including beach access wheelchairs, lifts, commodes, shower chairs, walkers, Curad brand orthopedic supplies. Free blood glucose monitors with the purchase of 1 pack of test strips, blue underpads, and a whole lot more.
Need home care convenience? Drop by Cayman Medical Supplies at 93 Smith Road, Windward Center, or call 949-6211. Free delivery.
Having a family means providing for them physically, emotionally, and financially. And in today's ever-changing world, it's always best to be prepared. Life insurance is a guaranteed way of ensuring that your family is always provided for. Life insurance agent Michael Webster at Cayman Insurance Center can offer you this peace of mind with the best competitive premiums and most affordable rates on island. CIC has a variety of products to meet your needs, including homeowners insurance and college saving plans. For top-of-the-line in personal service, call Michael Webster today at 925-LIFE. That's 925-5433. Or email michael.webster@cic.com.ky. Don't take chances with your family's future. Call Michael today at 925-5433.
Michael Webster is a proud supporter of Radio Cayman and the Super Jam. Welcome back to the Business Buzz, the business topics that matter, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local business environment. Cayman's Business Buzz.
Welcome back to the Business Buzz that is proudly sponsored by Greenturtle.ky, Cayman Medical Supplies, and Cayman Insurance Center. Putting the spotlight and keeping it there on Cayman property with Michael Joseph and Stephen Pryor. They are one of Cayman's most dynamic professional full-service real estate teams, which prides itself on the highest quality of service by providing buyers and sellers with an unmatched attention to detail, expert industry knowledge, and first-class customer service from start to finish. Gentlemen, it's a pleasure to have you on our show. Now, let's talk a little bit more. What have you been seeing recently with this big boom from both sides of the fence? Investigative persons just seeking to want to own a piece of the place we call home, first-time home buyers, or persons just, have you seen a lot more persons wanting to downsize, or maybe is there demand for townhouses, condos? What have you seen?
All of the above. What we pride ourselves on is being a part of everybody's property journey, regardless of where they're at. So it's that first-time Caymanian buyer, that straight out of college. I need to rent somewhere. Newcomers to Cayman, relocating, established families with 10-year-old children. Not 10 children, but 10-year-olds that are moving to Cayman, all the way up to the grandparents that are downsizing.
Right.
And also visitors, newcomers to the island that are looking for that investment property. A little bit of everything. And what's lovely is that there is something for everybody. What the news and the general media, and even we are guilty of it. We like the bright, shiny, pretty pictures on 7 Mile Beach, but oftentimes people forget that we actually do sell a tremendous amount, and not just sell, but we help buy for our clients as well. A tremendous amount of the other districts,
Right.
North Side, East End, Lower Valley.
I'm glad that you went there because I do have friends who are like, oh, that's all we're seeing is the glossy seaside sunset. I'm not on the beach, but does that mean my house looks any less in the eyes of a real estate person? Those are some of the misconceptions, that you're only marketing coastal.
Yeah, no, I mean...
primarily.
Yeah. No, I mean, obviously they're the glossy sort of photos that, look very glamorous, etc. But there's something for everyone's price point. And a lot of people, certainly myself included, can't afford, 7 Mile Beach. But then also a lot of people wouldn't necessarily want that.
to
They
be
find
there.
it too crowded. And as the corridor gets more and more developed, we're finding actually a lot of people want a bit more peace and tranquility. Their money goes a lot further, so they're moving, out east.
More quiet, tranquil.
The team has been designed to diversify. The sales agents are designed to be not designed to sound so clinical. We're available to every aspect of the market. Not just the glossy.
What are some misconceptions relating to Cayman real estate?
That it's overpriced, it's inaccessible. There's nothing left. It's now turning into Miami Beach. It's not what it used to be. And depends who you talk to. It's a debatable thing. But the misconceptions,
it's
that it's only for luxury homes and that sort of stuff.
There's literally something for everyone, from a $50,000 parcel of land up to a $15 million condo. So it all depends what you're looking for. I'd say the biggest misconception, certainly in our role, is that it's expensive to use an agent. I mean, yes, you pay for any service in life. You go to a doctor, you pay. But it can be really, really expensive if you don't use an agent. So if you sell your house yourself and you think you do a good job and get it sold, but if you leave $50,000 on the table. So our job is to advise clients, and we will say, no, do not accept that offer, because we see what's happening in the market, and we think that actually if you hold on a little bit longer, we're working with several other buyers, and we can get you an extra $50,000
that's value
for your property.
That's value.
So
exactly.
On that note, that real estate agents cost me more money. It's you got to spend money to make money concept. But as long as your agents bring value and guiding you accordingly. But one of the other misconceptions is it's impossible. Cayman's too expensive. You have to be rich to buy here. And just like we mentioned earlier, that is not the case. There's a little bit of something as long as you get on the property ladder at some point.
Right. Now, how has the real estate industry evolved over the years you've seen? And especially here.
Gosh.
Yeah. Prices, have increased, which, as we mentioned earlier, you want in a market. You want an improving and strengthening market.
The industry itself has evolved to virtual tours and aerial drone photos and higher quality photographs and videos and cool music with the videos and but also social media and we're really pushing Property Cayman down the digital highway.
Actually, that's a really good point. So, previously you would put up a for sale sign in the yard and you would put an advert in the back of the newspaper and hope that somebody would call on your property.
Correct.
Now is a very different market, and something that we are extremely passionate and progressive about is our digital marketing. So our shiny new website, where you're able to create your own profile, input create your own profile. Submit your sort of requirements if you're looking for a 2-bed condo, and then as soon as a new 2-bed condo comes up, in your price range, you'll get that to your inbox.
It's timely, right? What we're trying to bring, everybody has access to this information, but A, do you know how to decipher that information? Because there's a lot of it, and there's a lot of fake news as well.
It's true.
Yeah.
And B, is the information timely? Is it fresh? and hot off the press, and which gives you the advantage to get ahead.
Yeah, in a fast-moving market such, as we're currently in, you need to be able to move quickly and to see the properties kind of first. So, and online has made that a lot more accessible. And our Instagram page, so we'll do kind of Instagram stories where we're at a property, and that's quite a good way to find out. So if you head to @PropertyCayman on Instagram, you'll be able to find us there.
Facebook Live, Instagram Live, we do every Friday as well.
Yes, that's quite fun, actually.
We get a lot of activity out of that as well. And just embracing the new way of going about things. Like we said earlier, we want to differentiate ourselves and not do the same old, same old.
Right.
Otherwise, we're going to be the same as
Exactly.
the same old.
What does it take to remain competitive in the real estate industry?
Oh, gosh. Full-time.
Building relationships or just
a lot of hard work.
Yeah, and persons having trust and faith in you that you really have their best interest at heart.
That's very true.
And not oneself.
No, it's a never-ending process, actually, because it takes a lot to earn people's trust, and it's only through time and experience that you're able to provide that. But it's I would say it's a matter of constantly evolving with the market at the time and making sure that you're not getting ahead of yourself and doing stuff for self-interest.
Right.
And we really, it's one of our ethos, is we have to make sure that what we're doing is what's best for the client, which is, it's supposed to be, right? It's supposed to be what's best for the client. But we're all wrapped up in the rat race, and oftentimes real estate agents have got that reputation that they're just worried about their own pockets and not the client.
Now, can we dabble a little bit and talk about some fundamental challenges that the real estate brokerage industry faces? And what do you think is the future for real estate as a whole?
Yeah, good question. A lot of people are starting their searches online, whereas previously, without the pre-internet, you would have to go to an
Call
agent.
someone.
Yeah,
right.
exactly. So that's changed significantly. Yes, a good question.
It's a dynamic industry. I think there will always be a need for real estate agents. The professional real estate agent, again, where you can provide value and that knowledge and guidance, so that you can help people navigate what is pretty much a tangle of a situation.
Right.
There will always be the demand for real estate agents. I think those that have more experience or at the forefront and are current and knowledgeable with the market will be okay. But those that aren't educated, or those that perhaps are just doing it part-time to try and make a quick buck here and there, they will probably get left behind quite quickly as the market changes. And the market will change.
Right. What about those persons aspiring or have an interest of wanting to be a real estate agent?
It's a fantastic industry. You just got to remember you got to work hard and all the time. It's not rocket science, but there's an awful lot of detail and there's a lot of moving parts. It's forever changing, and you got to get used to working evenings and weekends.
No days off. I mean, my phone is going all the time. So you've got to be extremely responsive in order to be successful.
Yes.
You have to have that an ambassador-esque style, welcoming people to Cayman. Even if they're already here, you've got to be proud of what Cayman is, but you've also got to be very attentive and customer care.
And I think that's what people don't necessarily realize is the amount of work that goes into sort of behind the scenes. And we pride ourselves on that.
For persons looking to purchase real estate, many of them may feel rushed to come up with a decision, to make an offer, and I don't want to feel like a bother. What would you say to those persons that feel respectful of your time? Like if you're shopping for a piece of jewelry, my thing is, don't take it out of the case if you're not serious to buy. Don't waste the seller's time. Why would I be, for example, asking Mike or yourself to show me Salt Creek when that is not within my reach?
Well, part of
you understand?
Absolutely. Yeah. Part of the process is understanding what's driving your decision. What is your why? Why are you buying? Why are you selling? Why are you doing this particular property move? And we can help you. We ask you questions, or we give you answers to questions you don't even know you need to ask yourself.
Right.
So I'm still lost on the jewelry in the box thing. I was still
well, I mean, back to what we were saying initially, by talking to your bank and setting out your budget, if Salt Creek isn't within your budget, then it's a non-starter. So it's, whilst it may be beautiful to view, it's a waste of your time.
It's
also,
respectful always.
Exactly.
Let's be careful. We don't deny the fact that you have the earning potential perhaps one day to have that. And if that's what you're aspiring to, there is your property journey. That is your plan. And we are there with you the entire journey, which means, okay, let's start here. Let's start with the rental, Sabrina. Okay. And when you can afford to buy your first one-bedroom, then we'll do that. And then we'll stepping stone over time.
And it is a stepping stone approach. But it's an educational thing. It's important to view 5-10 properties so that when you actually view the one that you want to buy, you know that it is the one. It's not like you go out and you think, oh, geez, okay, I'll buy it.
So don't feel like you're wasting your real estate agent's time because that's a big decision.
It is. And it takes time. I mean, I've been working with buyers for years before they finally see the right property and they're in the right position to move. So you're not wasting our time at all.
We get excited about making sure we've given solid guidance, and when the buyer or the seller makes an informed and educated decision with confidence, everybody's happy.
That's right. So how can persons get in touch with Property Cayman to get further information about buying or selling, even renting?
Yes, I would say go to our shiny new website, which the amount of work that went in to that, and big shout out to Collective. They were phenomenal throughout the whole process. But if you head to propertycayman.com, you'll find a bunch of info. Our blog is on there as well, which has top 10 tips for selling, etc., how to prep your house. You can create your own profile to have new properties pinged to your inbox.
Propertycayman.com. We're always available. info@propertycayman.com is our...
Follow us. I think you'll quite enjoy our Instagram stories if you check those out.
Facebook Live and Instagram Live on Fridays, every Friday at 3 o'clock. You'd probably enjoy that as well. Stefan and I, we try. We have fun.
Not too dissimilar from this in a way, but you've got a live audience sort of interacting. So yeah, our Facebook Live session is quite cool as well. Or just shoot us an email, info@propertycayman.com.
Okay.
And our social media handle is @PropertyCayman.
What would you like to leave with our listening audience this morning in your own individual way?
I would like to say don't panic is my biggest piece of advice. All of the media and hysteria with the booming market, sort of don't panic. Everyone's situation is unique and individual to them, but seek advice and guidance, and we are more than happy to spend time talking about your property journey, whether you're buying or selling.
Yeah, that's well said. I was going to start saying lots of warm, fluffy, fuzzy stuff like Cayman community, which is obviously very important, but from a business perspective, we are absolutely available and approachable, and don't be put off by our glossy pictures. We have a genuine heart and soul and passion for what we do and for Cayman, and want to make sure that the guidance we're giving is true and genuine, and we want to make sure that people make the right decisions. And you're going to get some pretty straight up tough love, but straight talk from us. And we look forward to helping you along your property journey.
Well, Mike and Stefan, it has been a pleasure. And thank you for allowing us to put the spotlight on Property Cayman. All the best for 2019 and all success.
Yeah,
thanks so much for everything.
The Business Buzz is produced by Susan Watson and is proudly sponsored by greenturtle.ky. Get your new phone at greenturtle.ky. No stress, no fuss at greenturtle.ky. Cayman Medical Supplies is also a sponsor. Give them a call today, 949-6211. And our newest sponsor, thank you, Cayman Insurance Center, celebrating 45 years in Cayman Islands, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. Until Thursday, have a safe and fabulous Tuesday.
You may have heard of them by now. greenturtle.ky, a one-stop shop for your mobile needs. Whether shopping for a new phone or topping up a loved one, it's time to hop aboard the Green Turtle Express. From 24-hour delivery in Grand Cayman to sending credit worldwide, greenturtle.ky is the future of mobile. Take a ride on the Green Turtle Express today. greenturtle.ky. They get there first.
Radio Cayman 11 a.m. News Headlines is brought to you by Savannah Pharmacy.
Savannah Pharmacy, just around the corner with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours, including Sundays and holidays.
Stay updated with the very latest news from Cayman, the region, and around the world. The 11 o'clock headlines, brought to you by
Savannah Pharmacy. For more information, call 946-3336.
Oh, Cayman moon.
The voice of the Cayman Islands, Radio Cayman.
Shining down from above.
We love our listeners.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.